You are a story waiting to be told. Brands are built over time, and brands are built to last. We've always been told life is a long distance race. Success in life is not about how fast we run. Often, it's all about how long we last. Life is cruel. Every day that we go out, there are countless things that batter us, that seems to be working overtime to rob us of our self-belief, cause us to doubt who we are. There are countless people who are telling us we're too fat, we're too dark, we're too thin, we're too tall, we talk too much. Everybody seems to be saying everything that's wrong with us. Now, how do we last long? How do we go through these ups and downs? That's the last constituent of building a brand. It's all about renewing yourself. I love to tell the story of a brand that we talked about earlier in this series, Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli had a 3-year century drought. From 2019 all the way till September 2022, Virat Kohli wasn't able to score a century. He was losing his fan base. People were beginning to doubt him. There were cricket pundits that suggested that he had passed his prime. It's time for us to forget about Virat Kohli. It's time for us to move on. Someone even attempted to find a prince to replace the king. Must have been difficult times. Must have been times when Virat Kohli doubted himself. Every time he went out to bat, his desire to score a century was high, but he somehow got out. And he could see him walking back to the pavilion, his shoulders drooping, angry with himself, disappointed. What makes Virat Kohli a brand? That's the last constituent of building a brand. It's renewing yourself. It's the ability to rebuild when you're broken. It's the ability to start again at your beginnings when you've lost everything you built. How do we do that? I picked up this beautiful framework from a dear friend of mine, Anand Pillai. He calls it the spice framework. He says this is what you do to spice up your life. Renewing ourselves requires us to do 5 things, and do 5 things consistently and consciously almost every day. The first S of the spice framework is requiring us to renew ourselves spiritually. I'm not talking here about religion. I'm talking about our beliefs. Our ability to believe in good things. You talk to a youngster today and you'd say hard work doesn't pay, it's all about luck. But you go and talk to people who reach the top, they will tell you it's about hard work. We live in a world today where we are tempted to believe that honesty doesn't pay. But you go and talk to people who reach the top, they will say that success is underpinned in integrity. Uncompromisable integrity. How do we renew our values? How do we renew our beliefs? How do we renew our belief in the goodness of man? In spite of contradictory evidence, you have to renew yourself spiritually. We can't achieve anything in the world if you're not physically fit. And that's the second element of renewal, is renewing ourselves physically. Exercising, eating well, healthy habits, sleeping enough. Because if we have to achieve, we need stamina, we need energy. We need as much energy at 9 o'clock in the night as we had at 9 in the morning. Renewing ourselves spiritually, renewing ourselves physically, and then what about a time when all knowledge has a shelf life that's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller? We need to renew ourselves intellectually. We need to unlearn. We need to learn. We need to have a passion, a curiosity for something new. We got to have the humility to learn. And we've got to have joy in learning. Every time we learn something new, it's got to bring a smile on our face. And we can learn for absolutely anything. I recently met a great thinker. He was talking about the fact that whenever he goes around the world, people say it's very difficult for us to find good teachers these days. And he said something very beautiful. He said, don't worry about the teachers. When you are ready to learn, the teachers will find you. It could be nature, it could be people, it could just be a book you read. Renewing yourself intellectually. Building a brand is about community. It's about relationships. It's about how I relate to people and other people relate to me. And renewing yourself means renewing the community, renewing our relationships, renewing the people that we care for, renewing the relationships that are cracked and worn out, and renewing it to be new again. Rebuilding your relationship as a son, as a daughter, a father, a husband. Renewing yourself means renewing yourself through your relationships and beliefs in others, and others' belief in you. And finally, in today's brutal world, there is one thing that takes a beating every day, every minute of the day, every second of the unforgiving minute, and that is our emotions. We have to heal ourselves. Renewing ourselves means renewing ourselves emotionally. It's the ability to jump back. How long does it take to get the smile back on our face? How long does it take for us to reignite hope? Spice. Life is a long-distance race. And if we have to build our brand, we have to refresh our brand. We have to renew ourselves. So building a brand is all about being yourself. Because you are unique. You are a designer product. There's just one of you. And you are a story waiting to be told. Because you can't do anything else. Because somebody said it's too much of a strain to try to be